Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new spoiler review. And today, sadly, my last spoiler review of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We've been on this journey now for 6 weeks, and now it's coming to a close today. So let's talk about the season finale. Tell me if I liked it or not. Also, let me know how you thought about the season finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier in the comment section down below. I respond to every single comment. Let's have a fun discussion about this show. Do you think this show is better than WandaVision? Do you think it sets up more things for both these characters? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, please like the video. That's the best way to support the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Max Hindenburg. Please subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews like these, streaming platform reviews, and movie rankings. If you like any one of those things, please consider joining the community here on Max Talks Movies. And now let's get into my spoiler thoughts. Again, spoiler review. Here we go. So for me, I think it's a really solid episode for me. I thought it was a good episode. I had a lot of fun with the episode. And I believe the last 25 minutes, really once Sam gives that speech with the GRC members, that became amazing. When that happened until the end of the show, from that point, starting him giving the speech to the end of the show, I thought it was absolutely spectacular stuff. Very emotional. And for me, the reason why is that we'll talk about this now because it's the first half. So the first half is basically the Flag Smashers infiltrating that GRC vote. You have Falcon in his new suit, which I really love. I felt very nostalgic based off the comic book. It felt right him wearing the suit. Bucky and John Walker were on the ground, and Sharon were all helping out. Some exciting action scenes. My main issue now, and it's solidified with this episode, is that I just don't care about the Flag Smashers. And it's a shame because I think Erin Kellerman, who's playing Carly Morgenthau on the show, she really is giving it her all in this performance. But sadly, the character for me feels dull, and the group as a whole feels dull. They don't feel like an actual threat, and they don't feel like a group that should be getting followed by this many people. And it felt like because they had to cut out a lot of their scenes because of this very similar COVID storyline, that because they cut all of that out, it killed any semblance of a good villain in the show. And for me, the emotion, I knew Carly was going to die. Really from episode 1, maybe 2, I knew Carly was going to die. And so that took a lot of the emotion out of her getting killed. The fact that she makes a lot of rash decisions and her followers just keep following her, for me, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And as a whole, also, another thing I don't like about the episode is that John Walker, I guess, is just free. Everyone's cool with him helping out. Bucky's cool with it. They make him U.S. agent at the end of the show. And like, I'm happy that he's USA agent, but why is he killed someone in the streets? And everyone's like, oh, we're cool. They didn't give any consequence this episode for what he did in episode 4. So I thought that was a major mistake as well. And it seems like they made Sharon Carter the power broker. I still am conflicted if she actually is. They made it seem like in this episode that she is the power broker. I still feel like there's a slight chance she's not, but if she's the power broker, I'm not that happy with it. Not because she's a woman or anything. I love Sharon Carter, and I believe it's just the Marvel thing to do to make someone who's close with our heroes go to be the big bad. I like her motive on why she went to Madripoor. A lot of that made sense, but the fact that they really are hammering it home that she is going to be the big bad very soon, I'm not completely sold on it. And I thought that a lot of her scenes as a villain felt very flat to me. And I was, especially that post-credit scene, it felt like anyone could have written that scene where she gets pardoned and then she calls someone and said, we got more stuff to do. It just didn't get me excited for the power broker stuff. And again, so now I had to get my negatives out of the way because I did really enjoy the episode. The action was really fun. Again, Sam's suit was great. Him versus Batroc was a lot of fun. Bucky with a motorcycle. Bucky was great this entire episode again. So was Sam. And I thought they established perfectly that Sam is Captain America. And I was talking to my friend who I do a podcast with about the show, and he says that based off last week, he just thought that Sam just is feeling like Captain America 2.0. He really isn't stepping into his own. And for me, I disagree with him last week. If he still feels like that, I don't know what to say. I love that Sam is Captain America, and he feels like a totally different Captain America because he's fighting for completely different things. Captain America was fighting for stuff that was just happening. It just had to Sam has more responsibilities and he's fighting for more things than Steve Rogers did. Now, I'm not saying Sam's gonna be a better Captain America than Steve Rogers. I'm just saying he has more responsibility. He's fighting for more things, and there's more pressure on him being a good Captain America. So I felt like for me, they nailed that point of the show, and he really feels like Captain America. He doesn't feel like the Falcon anymore. His suit was great, but I'm just going to get to the speech. The speech, and also the fight with Carly. While I didn't care about Carly, I felt for Sam because Sam was never fighting her. And she kept saying, fight me, and he just kept protecting himself. That scene was the best stuff from Carly this entire season, in my opinion. The fact that she just wanted to fight, do this, and then Sharon kills her, obviously, not just to save Sam, but also so she gets no loose reins for people to know that she's the power broker, is what it seemed like why she killed her. So as we continue, he gives the speech with the GRC, and I can't really think of the lines, but he had some amazing lines. I had chills during this scene. It didn't feel like a forced Captain America speech. It felt like the right thing to say, and he challenged the senators about what they actually do with the GRC, which is kind of what people do now with borders and stuff in this country. And I thought it was so well done. And the fact that a Black man as a main superhero was saying this also hit home for me as well. And I thought it made the show even more authentic. And I thought it was very well done. Bucky was just listening to this. As we continue, we saw that Zemo orchestrated an assassination on some of the senators for the GRC, or it was the Flag Smasher people. One of the two. We saw his butler in the limo. That was it for Zemo this episode. Him in the raft. I thought we would see more people in the raft. It did not happen. It was just saying that Zemo orchestrated an assassination or something. So they didn't really set up Thunderbolts. They just put Zemo in the raft, because they didn't put John Walker in the raft. They didn't put him in the Thunderbolts. So you can I think they cut out a lot of the scenes because it feels like Zemo will be in Black Widow and he'll be in the raft. So that's what I feel like will happen. We're going to see a lot of the raft Thunderbolt stuff in Black Widow because Ross is in it. And you can kind of feel that Black Widow was supposed to come before this show, but still we'll see some of those loose ends. I know a lot of people were like, where was Zemo? I think they're going to see that in Black Widow. And future MCU movies down the pipeline. We saw that John Walker becomes U.S. agent, which I thought that was the way better scene for Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She was really good in that scene. When Bucky does go to the old man's house to tell him that he killed his grandson or son, I thought that was a very good scene. Had to happen. And Bucky's just moving on and in a better place mentally at the moment. And I thought that him doing that made total sense. Did I know that was going to happen this episode? I absolutely did, but I still loved the scene. I actually wish we got more with that scene. It felt very One Note, where he just goes in and says, I killed your Winter Soldier, and that was me. And then he just leaves. I would have loved a little more focus on that scene, make it more powerful. It still worked. I just would have liked a little, like 2 or 3 more minutes with that scene. We move on to Sam's place and we kind of end on the show ending on the Captain America and the Winter Soldier, not Falcon and Winter Soldier. So for me, I have issues with the villains. Really, for me, did not make the show special, in my opinion. The Power Broker mystery turned out not to be that great, and the Flag Smashers were very weak villains. But Sam definitely turned into Captain America, which is, in my opinion, the goal of the show. And then he shows Carl Lumbly, Isaiah Bradley, that he put up his own monument at Captain America's museum, and that really spoke to me emotionally. Seeing Carl Lumbly was probably the best part of the show. His conversation with Sam this episode, and then him going to Cap's museum and him being up there really, really hit me hard emotionally. I didn't cry, but I definitely felt the emotion and the rush of the moment, and it really hit home for me. That scene was really powerful, and it really worked. So the end, as I said, on Captain America, we get the post-credit scene where Sharon's getting pardoned, and then she's obviously like, oh, now we have all this stuff to do. So it seems like Sharon will be the next big bad for these two characters coming up. U.S. Agent will be out there, and the Thunderbolts will be out there as well. So thank you guys so much for joining me on my spoiler journey of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Don't worry, if you're just here for the MCU reviews, definitely subscribe because I do more reviews than just MCU. But Loki, that comes out June 11th. I'll be doing my spoiler reviews each and every week of that show. Black Widow coming out in July. So busy MCU videos coming the next 2 to 3 months here on the channel. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell, comment down below, like, share, one more video today. That is my Mortal Kombat review earlier than my Invincible episode 7 review. That season finale review will be next week. So ring the bell to notified when these videos come out. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.